If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel for more of my content. Also be sure to press the notification button down below, that way when a new video comes out, you'll be notified. One of the things I like about the world of Naruto is how it mirrors ours in a way. I mean, yeah, we don't have people making clones of each other, having ninjas running around everywhere, or kaiju-like monsters destroying the towns. But one of the things that I think is similar to our world is the political structure of Naruto. Now I know what you're gonna say. Politics? That's so lame and boring. And yes, you watch an episode of C-SPAN, it will put you to sleep, but politics in our world also affects us in many ways. It discusses the way we live, how the world is shaped, and who's in charge of world politics. You can tell that Naruto creator Masashi Kishimoto is very well versed in history and politics, because despite Naruto being this fantasy world, there is a lot of inspirations from our history and political world. For that, we go to the 5 Great Ninja Nations. The Land of Fire, which has the Leaf Village, the Land of Water, which has the Mist Village, the Land of Wind, which has the Sand Village, the Land of Earth, which has the Stone Village, and the Land of Lightning, which has the Cloud Village. Each of these nations hold important powers, all the while you have the smaller nations who serve as buffer zones. These nations have fought wars with each other, formed alliances, then stabbed each other in the back, and have done every dirty trick in the book. Think of it similar to that of World War I Europe or the world of Last Airbender, but with ninjas, with each having their own shinobi military force, their own Jinchuriki, and their own Kage. Today I'll be going over the 5 great ninja nations and their political structure, and how it affects the Naruto world and parallels our own. Also keep in mind, along with the manga, I will also be using material from the novels, the Boruto series, and fillers, as even though Naruto fillers and the Boruto series get a bad rap, I do feel like some of the material they bring actually do help expand the world of Naruto that wasn't featured in the manga. For starters, we go to the village that we all know very well, the village hidden in the leaves. The Leaf Village originally came after many years of civil war between several different clans until the 2 most famous clans, the Uchiha and the Senju, made peace with each other, and the others soon followed. The Leaf Village government is made up of the Hokage, which they had 7 over their history, with Hashirama Senju being the first, his brother Tobirama Senju being the second, their student Hiruzen Sarutobi being the third, Minato Namikaze, who was a student of Jiraiya, who was a student of Sarutobi, being the fourth, Tsunade, the granddaughter of Hashirama and the student of Sarutobi, being the fifth, Kakashi Hatake, who was the student of Minato, being the sixth, and Naruto Uzumaki, who was the student of Kakashi and the son of Minato, being the seventh. As you can see, the Hokage here are connected one way or another as either being related or being students of them, with them having Hokage Rock, which is similar to that of Mount Rushmore. Now, many believe that the Hokage is actually in charge of the entire Land of Fire, but that's not true. Instead, he's only head of the Leaf Village, or better yet, serves as the figurehead. The real leader of the Land of Fire is the Daimyo, or Feudal Lord. This can be said for all nations as well. The Feudal Lord is the one who makes the final decisions on what needs to be done. That includes approving on who can become Hokage. Yes, the Hokage can choose their successor and the people can have a say, but in the end, it's the Daimyo that has final say. Think of it similar to that of the political system of Iran, minus the crazy theocracy, where Iran does have a president who is voted by the people, but in the end, it's the Ayatollah who has supreme control. That being said, the Hokage still has duties to the village, such as doing paperwork, discussing issues with other Kage, or defending the village whenever it's in danger. Not to mention, the Hokage also has their own advisory staff who help with their decisions. The Leaf Village also has their own military force, with them having an academy who teach children how to become ninja. The village has their own clans to bring something special to help with the military force, which, let's be honest, should make the Leaf Village some ultimate military power. You have the Nara clan and the Shadow Possession Jutsu, which can take control of a person's shadow and thus paralyzing them. The Akamichi clan, who can grow in size. The Yamanaka clan, who can use mind control. And the Aburame clan, who can control bugs. Not to mention they have their own Jinchuriki, Naruto Uzumaki, and the Nine-Tailed Fox Kurama, in which the Nine-Tails is the most powerful of all the tailed beasts. Also, Leaf Ninja are very skilled in fire style techniques, and throughout its history had very notable shinobi such as Kakashi's father, Sakamo Hatake, who was famous for being the White Fang of the Leaf for his fierce combat skills, Minato, who was known as the Yellow Flash for his incredible speed, Fugaku Uchiha, who was known as Wicked Eye Fugaku because his Sharingan was unmatched by any other. After getting the Sharingan, Kakashi became known as the Copycat Ninja. And before the group disassembled, they had the legendary signing, which was made up of Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Orochimaru, who mind you were the most powerful shinobi of their era, and each actually trained a member of Team 7 individually. The Leaf also has its own covert organization called the Anbu Black Ops, which is similar to that of the CIA. It handles tasks such as assassinations, sabotage, infiltrations, and protecting the Hokage. It even has its own subdivision called the Root, who have done even more messed up things, such as kidnapping, brainwashing, and experimenting on children, starting false flag operations that start wars, and made attempts to seize power from the Hokage. Because of its position in the center, the Leaf has always had enemies on all sides, and mostly tends to go to war with the Cloud and Earth villages. The concept that brings the Leaf Village together is the Will of Fire, which is everyone in the Leaf Village is family, therefore deserves to be protected. Well, even though the Leaf Village has been called a family, it has been known to have prejudices and discrimination against certain populations. Such is the case with outsiders such as the Uzumaki clan, or the suspicions and discrimination of the Uchiha to the point where they planned to overthrow the government, which led to their extermination. Or when Sakamoto Hatake was ostracized for saving a comrade on a mission, which led to his suicide. Or the most infamous being how Naruto was treated, with him having the nine-tailed fox healed into him. Because the Leaf Village is surrounded by forests, it is assumed that they have good resources to help with their economy. On the outside, the Leaf Village looks very stable but has a long history of power struggles and attacks that the only reason that it's still intact is due to sheer luck and nothing short of a miracle. Though I cannot say the same for the next village. We then come to the village hidden in the mist. Not much is known about the history of the Mist Village aside from the fact that it was founded during the Warring States period. Like the Leaf Village, the Mist Village has their own Kage as well, known as the Mizukage, which they've had 6. Byakuren as the first, Gengetsu Hosoki as the second, Some Guy as the third, Yagura Karatachi as the fourth, Mei Terumi as the fifth, and Chojuro as the 6th. Not much is known about the position of the Mizukage, though unlike the Hokage, it seems that different people who are not associated with each other and only the strongest shinobi can become Mizukage. Throughout the Mist history, there was a caste system, with the families of the founders of the village being high up, while those in the middle are of the families who allied themselves with the Mist, and those on the bottom are those who have been conquered by the Mist and therefore treated like second-class citizens. Because of this, the government gives them the most dangerous and time-consuming tasks in order to keep them busy from revolting. But the Mist has had revolutions and uprisings before, such as the case of the Kaguya clan who rose up against the Mist. However, due to this case, there was a mass genocide of anyone with a Kenkei Genkai. However, regular citizens were not safe as well, such as the case with the reign of Yagura, the 4th Mizukage, who was manipulated by Obito, who was posing as Madoru Uchiha, and ran down a reign of terror onto the Mist. The Mist Ninja Academy involved this Battle Royale Hunger Games style competition where, in order to graduate, one had to kill one of their classmates. However, this practice was put to rest after an incident involving a young Zabuza Momochi who slaughtered his entire class. Not to mention, during the Fourth Reign, corruption was rampant and many ninjas defected. This period will be known as the Bloody Mist. However, under the reign of Mei Terumi, the 5th Mizukage, she would later reform a lot of the plagues that affected the Mist Village. And under the 6th Mizukage, Chojuro, the Mist became a brighter and happier place, moving on from its dark past. Because of the effects of the Bloody Mist period, the Mist Ninja military force is most likely the most unstable due to the high amounts of casualties and defections from its ranks. It's definitely best known for the group called the 7 Swordsmen of the Mist, which had members such as the aforementioned Zabuza Momochi and Kisame Hoshigaki, though half of the swordsmen being killed by Mai Dai, the father of Mai Gai. And the Mist having their own Jinchuriki, Yagura who had the 3-tailed turtle Isobu, and Utakata who had the 6-tailed slug Saiken. However, Yagura was a dictator and Utakata left the village. The Mist Village has their own version of the Anbu Black Ops called Hunters, or Trackers in the English dub, in which their job was to kill those rogue ninja who left the Mist Village so they wouldn't give any information. And one of the ninja by the name of Ao has a Byakugan that he took from a Hyuga during the 3rd Ninja World War. And it's most likely that the Mist economy was utter garbage due to the corruption of its government, the constant uprisings, and with the Land of Water being made of archipelagos, it's most likely until Mei's time as Mizukage that the mist village was rather isolationist, cutting most of its ties from the outside world. Overall, the mist was probably the most unstable of all the villages, especially during the reign under Yagura. However, in recent years it's managed to bounce back from its horrid past. Next we have the village hidden in the sand. The Kazekage is the head of the village, which they had 5 Kazekage throughout their history. These include Reito, Shaman, Guy with No Name, Raza, and Gara, the son of Raza. There is also statues commemorating the Kazekage. Not much is known about the Kazekage, but it's stated that the Kazekage line is a monarchy, least being related to the Kazekage bloodline. However, in certain cases, adoption is optional, such as the case for Gara's son Shinki, as his sister Tamari married Shikamaru Nara, a Leaf Shinobi, and her son Shikadai was born in the Leaf. It was stated that if Gara or Kankuro didn't have any kids, Shikadai would have been Kazekage, and this caused a lot of uproar in the Sand, with even the Sand Council planning to overthrow Gara. So like the Hokage, the Kazekage is more of a figurehead, and a certain group can remove him if he causes any problems. Also, it is believed that the Kazekage position is cursed, as each of the Kazekage were assassinated. The first 2 Kazekage were killed by unknown assassins, the 3rd Kazekage was killed by Sasori and became one of his puppets, the 4th Kazekage was killed by Orochimaru, who would later disguise himself as him, and the 5th Kazekage was briefly killed by the Akatsuki before being brought back to life. Like the Land of Fire, the Land of Wind also has a feudal lord, with the first feudal lord being very unpopular as he would cut funding to the Sand Village and give the most important jobs to the Leaf. This angered many of the population of the Sand and would lead to them invading the Leaf Village. The Sand Ninja are most likely the weakest of all the shinobi militaries. While they do work better in the desert as it is their home turf and they know it like the back of their hands, but when they invade different nations it is when they have the most trouble and usually have to rely on alliances. Such is the case when the Sand Village allied themselves with the Sand Village in order to destroy the Leaf Village, and they were still beaten back. That being said, Sand Shinobi will always fight to the bitter end, making them formidable foes. And having several unique factions such as those who use wind-style jutsu with their fans and those who use puppets as weapons. And of course they have their own Jinchuriki Gara, who hosts the one-tailed Tanuki Shukaku. Because of the fact the Sand Village is in a freaking desert, not many resources are grown there. Instead it has to rely on trade in order to keep their economy going. And despite their past, the Sand Village has a strong alliance with the Leaf. Overall, the village hidden in the sand is a rather strange place. Due to its location in the desert, it has to deal with a lot. It has to deal with inner turmoil such as assassinations and corrupt officials. However, with its strong alliances and sharing with other nations, it manages to keep itself afloat. Next, we have the village hidden in the stone. The leader of the stone village is the Tsuchikage, and there have been 4 in the village history: Ishikawa, Mu, Onoki, the grandson of Ishikawa, and Kurosuchi, the granddaughter of Onoki. With the exception of Mu, it seems that the position of Tsuchikage is taken by those who skip a generation. Stone Village is probably the most aggressive of all the 5 villages, such as its numerous border conflicts with the Sand Village. The second Tsuchikage and the second Mizukage will constantly battle one another. Many battles between the Leaf and Stone Village during the Second and Third Shinobi World War. The stone betraying the mist and the incident known as the Tragedy of Yasuga Pass. And even during peacetime, we used terrorist organizations such as the Akatsuki to fight some of their battles, and the Akatsuki will later attack the Stone Village. Stone Ninja are very strong, being that they're known to use their earth-style techniques to their advantage, not to mention they have the Kamizuru clan who are known to control bees and are rivals with the Aburame. Because of this, they almost won the Third Ninja World War had it not been for Minato Namikaze of the Leaf, who single-handedly stopped an entire army of Stone Ninja. And even when they tried to invade the Leaf after it was crippled by the attacks of the Sand and Sound villages, most of the Stone Ninja were beaten back by Kosuke Maruboshi, who was known as the Leaf's strongest genin. Despite the fact it has 2 Jinchuriki, Roshi and the 4-tailed monkey Son Goku, yes, make your jokes, and Han with the 5-tailed horse dolphin Kokowo, but never really took advantage of their Jinchuriki as they were ostracized like many other Jinchuriki, but didn't use them as weapons, and the populace were rather happy when they left. Not much is known about the Stone's economy as it's constantly fighting with its neighbors, so trade is most likely out of the question, and being a mountainous region, not many resources are grown. Overall, the village hidden in the stone is really aggressive, always picking fights with its neighbors until recently, but even then, every now and then, it shows cracks of returning to its old ways. And last but not least, the village hidden in the clouds. The leader of the cloud village is the Raikage, and there have been 5 of them. A, the son of the third A, and Dadori. No, I'm not kidding, the first 4 Raikages are all named A. Yeah, I don't get it either. How the Raikage is chosen is unknown, and how its government works also is unknown. But let's be honest, it's very unique because it actually shows that black people exist in the Naruto world, which I think it was Masashi Kishimoto's way of shouting out to his black fans. The cloud is best known for competing with the Hidden Leaf Village. Since the time of the second Hokage and the second Raikage, the cloud and leaf have always been at war with each other, and it mostly involves the cloud trying to steal something from the leaf. Whether it was the Gold and Silver brothers trying to take the Nine-Tailed Fox, kidnapping Kushina Uzumaki, who was the previous host of the Nine-Tails, or even kidnapping Hinata Hyuga in order to get her Byakugan. Twice! Because of this, the two would fight many battles during the First and Third Shinobi World Wars. The Cloud Village is a strong shinobi military force, mainly using lightning-style techniques and having 2 Jinchurikis who know how to control their tailed beasts. Yukito Ni and the 2-tailed cat Masada Bee, and Killer Bee and the 8-tailed ox octopus Gyuki. Like many, they were ostracized by their village, but due to their control and the fact that Bee was adopted by the 3rd Raikage, the village began to grow a respect for them. Thanks to the friendship between Naruto and Killer Bee and the two fighting side by side during the 4th Shinobi World War, the Cloud has managed to keep a long peace with the Leaf that is sure to continue. That being said, we really don't know much about the village hidden in the clouds, nor do we know how its people do things, but it is a strong shinobi nation that shouldn't be messed with. And I would also like to give an honorable mention to the Land of Iron. While not a great shinobi nation, they do have a lot of influence and power in the shinobi world, and is very unique in its own right. For starters, unlike the rest of the nations listed here, the Land of Iron does not have ninja, but samurai. It is stated that the samurai and ninja used to be one group, but split on the idea on how to use chakra. The samurai believed that chakra was more of a spiritual essence and wanted to be more close to it, while the ninja believed that chakra to keep the bonds between people alive and can be used for power. Because of this, samurai cannot use ninjutsu or genjutsu, but use their chakra to connect with their swords. Despite the fact that samurai cannot use ninjutsu or genjutsu doesn't mean they're pushovers, as they are known to really hold their own against ninja. In fact, the 3rd Tsuchikage stated that any shinobi would be foolish enough to challenge a samurai of the Land of Iron. The reason for this is because samurai use a technique called Lido, which allows the samurai to look for an opening in the ninja, and that opening is when a shinobi makes a hand sign. Thus, the samurai strikes them down. The title of the leader of the Land of Iron is not a Kage, but a general, and the only general in this series that we see is Mifune, whose name is probably a reference to Toshiro Mifune, who is best known for his roles in samurai movies. We don't get much details on the general, but it seems that he is the most respected in the Land of Iron, and is also probably the most powerful. Because it doesn't have any shinobi, the Land of Iron is a neutral place, and usually used for meetings such as Kage summits and peace talks. Because of this and the fact that the Land of Iron is upon a snowy mountain, it is safe to say that the Land of Iron is basically the Switzerland of the Naruto world. Despite its neutrality, if the situation is needed, the Land of Iron will fight, such as the case with the Forged Ninja World War, in which the Land of Iron and its samurai contributed a lot to the war effort against the Akatsuki and those who were brought back by the reanimation jutsu. Because of its contribution, it's a lot closer to its ninja neighbors, with it even being the headquarters of the Shinobi Union, which is basically the Naruto equivalent of the United Nations, except not as useless.
Oh shit! Burn! Burn!
That being said, we really don't know much about the daily life of the Land of Iron, how its economy works, what its civilians do, that kind of stuff. However, the Land of Iron has such a uniqueness towards it that it cannot be ignored. Despite not being a ninja nation, the samurai are able to stand up there with the rest of the 5 great ninja nations and prove their worth and power to the politics of the Naruto world. Overall, the politics of the Naruto world is actually rather complex and something that mirrors ours in a certain way. Part of me really wished that some of these aspects were expanded upon, as there's so much of the shinobi world that we don't know about. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Thank you for sticking around, and has this topic interested you? Do you also wish the 5 great shinobi nations were expanded more? Leave your comments down below and tell me what you think. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.